What is domestic abuse? Domestic abuse can be characterized as an incident or pattern of controlling, coercive, or threatening behavior, violence, or abuse which occurs between intimate partners or family members. It can happen at any point in a relationship, inside or outside of the home. It's thought that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men will experience some form of domestic abuse in their lifetime. While domestic abuse can be a difficult subject, by talking about it, we can help to stamp it out through raising awareness and making it easier for those who might have experienced it to speak out. There can be many misconceptions about domestic abuse. The reality is that it can affect anyone, regardless of their age, gender, sexuality, economic status, or ethnicity. Domestic abuse can happen in a heterosexual relationship, same-sex relationship, and between a parent and child or extended family members. The abuser can be male or female. It's really important to remember that domestic abuse is never the fault of the victim. The perpetrators of domestic abuse are responsible for their own actions. There are different types of domestic abuse that we're going to look at in this video. These include emotional abuse, financial abuse, coercive control, neglect, physical abuse, and sexual abuse. Emotional abuse can sometimes be overlooked as a form of domestic abuse, but like physical abuse, it can be extremely damaging. Signs of emotional abuse include jealous, possessive, or controlling behavior, frequent insults, criticisms, or putting someone down, making a victim survivor lose confidence in themselves or their judgments. Coercive control. This occurs when a person who you are personally connected to repeatedly behaves in a way which makes you feel controlled, dependent, isolated, or scared. Coercive control includes harassment and stalking. Coercive control is a criminal offence. Signs of coercive control include anger or intimidation to frighten and control someone, trying to control multiple aspects of someone's life, from what they wear to who they see. Always wanting to know where someone is and what they are doing, frequently checking their messages and social media accounts, or conducting activities which may damage the victim survivor's relationships with others or isolates them. A perpetrator of coercive control might also try to control someone by threatening to publish sensitive information about them. Alternatively, a perpetrator can also threaten to involve authorities, such as the police or social services, from which the abused may fear further blame or hardship. When coercive control really escalates, a victim survivor can actually be in significant danger of physical harm at the hands of their abuser. Neglect. This can be the neglect of someone who the abuser is in charge of care for, such as a child, elderly, or disabled family member. Signs of domestic abuse by neglect include not feeding someone properly, cleaning or maintaining their hygiene, or not taking them to the doctor or to school when they need to go. Financial abuse is another way in which an abuser can seek to control a victim survivor. Signs include extensive control of someone else's finances, deciding when and how they spend their money, deciding whether or not someone is allowed to have a job or attend school, setting up an account in someone else's name, such as a credit card, mobile phone, or utility account, and then running this into debt. A victim survivor can feel economically trapped by their abuser if they rely on them, for instance, for their immigration status, such as through a spousal visa. Physical abuse. Physical abuse can either be a threat or actual physical harm. This is behavior that either harms someone or makes them doubt their physical safety. The harming of pets or animals can be a sign that abuse could escalate to harming a person. Sexual abuse. This includes pressuring someone to have sex or do something with their body that they don't want to do. Sexting, or filming someone doing an intimate sexual act when this is not wanted, is also sexual abuse, as is using sexual slurs against someone. An abuser could also be sexually abusive by hiding a partner's contraceptive or refusing to wear contraception when having sex. Female genital mutilation also falls under domestic, sexual, and physical abuse. There can be many reasons why a victim survivor of domestic abuse can find it difficult to seek help. They may have a very strong and long-term bond with their abuser. Also, someone who experiences domestic abuse does not necessarily experience this all the time. It's possible that someone who can be abusive can also be very charming and likable at times. However, just because an abuser can sometimes be very loving does not make the times that they are abusive okay, or mean that the abuse won't happen again. On the screen are some phone numbers of some helpful organisations. Support from these organisations is aimed at making those who have experienced abuse feel safer and heard. Thank you for listening.